All right, so picture this. You've spent years, you know, really honing your chess skills, right? Studying tons of games, analyzing every single move you can think of, and you finally get to the top, the World Chess Championship.
Wow.
The tension is unbelievable, the pressure is on, and then boom, one move throws it all away.
Oh, man.
We're going to dive into some of the most shocking blunders from World Chess Championship history.
I love this.
Let's go all the way back to 1892, the very first official World Championship match.
Wow.
Wilhelm Steinitz, considered the father of modern chess, was up against Mikhail Chigorin.
Okay.
Steinitz was known for his solid play, especially his focus on king safety.
Right, makes sense.
But in this game, he makes a move that completely goes against his own principles.
Uh-oh.
So it's game 8 of the match, and Steinitz is playing as black.
Okay.
He's in a tough spot, but he can still defend.
Mm-hmm.
Then on move 60, he plays rg6. He moves his rook to g6.
Okay.
This move opens up his position and leaves his king wide open to attack.
So the king safety thing went out the window?
Completely. Instead of rg6, the safer move was kf7, moving his king to f7.
Gotcha.
That would kept his defenses strong and the fight going.
Makes sense.
But even someone like Steinitz can miss these things when the pressure's on. Okay, let's fast forward now to 1921, a match between Josero Capablanca and Emanuel Lasker.
Okay.
This game is wild because it features not one, but 2 huge blunders.
Oh, wow.
It really shows that even the best can mess up.
Yeah.
So it's game 10, every move matters. On move 82, Lasker, playing black, is in a tough spot. He's trying to create some counterplay, but plays q d2, moving his queen to d2.
Okay.
This completely misses a simple tactic.
Uh-oh.
The better move was qd7, moving the queen to d7. This would have kept things relatively balanced.
Okay.
But qd2 basically hands Capablanca a winning chance.
Wow.
But here's the crazy part. Capablanca, with the chance to win it all, he blunders too.
No way.
He plays rh5, moving his rook to h5 instead of the winning rf7.
So they both missed a huge chance.
I know, right? What were they thinking?
Well, it just shows you the pressure of a world championship match.
Yeah.
Even with all the information and years of experience, they can still make mistakes.
Yeah. It shows how one blunder can have a huge ripple effect on the whole game.
Exactly. And both of these blunders are actually common tactical patterns that you can learn to recognize and avoid.
That's a good point. By studying these games, we can get better at spotting these tactics and avoid falling into the same traps.
Exactly. Okay, let's jump ahead to the 1927 World Championship. We see Capablanca on the other side of a blunder now, this time against Alexander Alekhine. On move 78, Alekhine makes a critical error by playing rook e7 to g7. It weakens his king's defense and basically gives Capablanca the win.
Wow, that's gotta be a tough pill to swallow.
But here's the thing. Alekhine could have played queen a8 to f8 instead. It wouldn't have been brilliant, but it would have at least given him a fighting chance.
So sometimes it's about damage control, minimizing the damage, staying in the game.
Exactly. The key takeaway. In chess and in life, sometimes it's not about making the best move, but about avoiding the worst one.
I like that. Solid advice.
Now let's move on to a real nail-biter, the 1948 World Championship between Max Euwe and Paul Kears. This one was a back-and-forth struggle, with the lead changing hands several times. The turning point comes on move 67, when Euwe, under pressure, plays queen b2 to b4. This seemingly harmless move actually gives Kears a decisive advantage.
Really? It seems so innocent.
I know, right? But there were other moves you could have played to keep things balanced. For example, qb2 to b3 or qb2 to a3 would have been much safer. Are you starting to see a pattern here? Even at the highest level, chess is a game of fine margins. One seemingly small error can snowball into a devastating loss. And that's what makes it so fascinating to study.
It's like a mental battleground.
Now let's dive into 2 matches full of twists and turns, the 1957 and 1958 World Championships between Mikhail Botvinnik and Vasily Smyslov. These 2 masters traded blunders back and forth.
We're eating blunders.
Giving us a glimpse into the human side of even the most calculated game. In the 1957 match, on move 70, Smyslov makes a mistake with king h7 to h8. It could have cost him dearly. But here's the catch: Botvinnik doesn't capitalize on it.
You let him off the hook.
He missed the winning line qd7 to d4, and instead played a neutral move that allowed the game to end in a draw. Imagine having the perfect chance to seal a victory and letting it slip away.
Oh man, talk about frustrating.
It's like missing a penalty kick in the final minutes of a soccer game.
Heartbreaking.
But this game teaches us a valuable lesson about the mental game of chess. It's not just about seeing the right moves. It's about recognizing your opponent's mistakes and having the confidence to capitalize.
So sometimes the biggest blunders aren't the ones we make ourselves, it's the ones we fail to exploit in our opponents.
Exactly. Now fast forward to the 1958 rematch, and the tables are turned. It's Botvinnik who makes the critical error, playing KD6 to KC5 on move 80. This time, Smyslov was ready. He seized the opportunity with E4 to D3, a move that ultimately led to his victory. This back-and-forth exchange of blunders highlights a key aspect of chess. It's as much about recognizing your opponent's weaknesses as it is about playing flawlessly yourself. It's like in a negotiation, you need to be aware of your own strengths and weaknesses, but also your opponent's. That's how you gain the upper hand.
It's about exploiting those weaknesses.
Next, let's talk about a truly grueling match. The 1978 World Championship between Viktor Korchnoi and Anatoly Karpov. This match stretched on for an incredible 108 moves. By that point, both players were likely exhausted. With fatigue setting in, mistakes were bound to happen, and they did. Karpov makes an error with Key 6 to KD5, giving Korchnoi a golden opportunity to win the game. But guess what?
He missed it.
Korchnoi missed it. Imagine playing for 108 moves, being on the verge of victory, and then letting it slip away.
Oh, that's rough.
It's a testament to the fact that even at the highest level, mental and physical fatigue can play a huge role.
Absolutely. They're human, after all.
The pressure, the exhaustion, the sheer intensity of a world championship match. It can all contribute to those brain fog moments we've all experienced. Now, let's take a look at the 1990 match between Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov. This one is interesting because it shows us that a blunder doesn't always equal defeat. Kasparov, known for his aggressive style, was dominating the game. But on move 67, he makes a careless error with QH4 to QH6, allowing Karpov to capture his queen.
Losing your queen is usually a big deal.
Right. But in this case, Kasparov was so far ahead in material that even after this blunder, he was still able to win. It reminds us that even when we make mistakes, we can still achieve our goals if we have a strong foundation and a clear strategy.
So it's not always a game ender.
Not always.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about having a strong enough position to withstand the blunder.
Interesting.
Now fast forward to the 2008 World Championship between Vladimir Kramnik and Viswanathan Anand. This match was another roller coaster ride, with both players making blunders that could easily swung the match in the other direction. On move 65, Kramnik makes a mistake with BB5 to BD3. This move gives Anand a huge opportunity to seize control. But you guessed it.
He missed it again.
Anand missed the killer blow. He had the chance to play BF5 to BD3, which would have decimated Kramnik's position. But he goes for BF5 to BH3, a much weaker move, allowing Kramnik to escape. This back and forth of missed opportunities reminds us that chess is a game of very fine margins. Even at the highest level, the outcome can hinge on a single move.
Every move counts.
What's fascinating is that even after missing his chance, Anand was still able to recover and win. It speaks to his resilience and his ability to stay focused even when things aren't going his way. This match reminds us that even when we make mistakes, it's not the end of the world. We can always learn, adjust our strategy, and come back stronger.
That's a great message. Never give up.
And finally, for our last blunder of the day, we jump to the 2016 World Championship between Magnus Carlsen and Sergei Karjakin. This match was a tense battle that went all the way to tiebreaks. And it was during one of those rapid tiebreak games that Carlsen, in a winning position, made a critical error. On move 145, he played BB4 to D6, a move that threw away his advantage and gave Karjakin a lifeline.
Oh, the pressure of a tiebreak.
Yeah, right. The pressure of a rapid tiebreak game, with the clock ticking down, can lead even the most experienced players to make uncharacteristic mistakes.
Makes sense. The pressure is immense.
It highlights the importance of time management in chess. Even with a winning position, if you run out of time, you can still lose. It's like in life, sometimes we have great ideas, but if we don't manage our time, we may never get to implement them. So what if we learned from this whirlwind tour of blunders? We've seen how even the greatest players in history are prone to mistakes, especially under the pressure of a championship match. But more importantly, we've seen how these blunders can teach us valuable lessons about decision-making, resilience, and the human capacity for error, even under immense pressure.
They remind us that we're all human.
Exactly. We all make mistakes. What matters is how we learn from them and move forward.
Couldn't agree more.
These games highlight the importance of mental toughness, of staying focused and composed under pressure, and of being able to recover from setback. So the next time you're facing a challenging situation, remember these chess blunders and the lessons they teach us. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, Embrace those mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow. And remember, even the greatest chess players in the world have their facepalm moments.